individuals in their families. They talk about raising kids and dealing with, but they got to the point where certain common themes start to resonate amongst the different couples. There were numerous couples, and I recognize most of them. But they talked about compromise.
Certainly.
And they said a marriage won't last without compromise. And this other guy said, uh, they talked about marriage happiness. And again, these are all married couples. I'm not a married couple, but they were talking about married couples, and they said, well, how are you doing in your marriage? And if they said, if you're 100% happy, your spouse is probably not happy.
Right.
They said there's a balance.
There is.
So I think that they were being funny about it, but probably serious. They said you're a good marriage, you're slightly happy. And I thought about that, but again, it goes with that compromise, because if you were good to stay on your own, there's no reason to change. But when you have someone else, a lot of your mannerisms or your quirks, or there's a lot of different things about yourself that are going to have to change to mesh.
Certainly.
When you come together with somebody else and you're trying to become one. I think when you're parenting, you should act as one against the. It's sad to say against the kids, but I'm saying you should be as one.
Well, even as an individual, I feel here's what gets me every single time that I see it, is that, and I've heard it before in relationships, I should not have to change. You remember this? If you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. No, here's the idea. Stop having the worst be so consistent, or start having the best be more consistent. Start looking upwards when you're in a relationship with somebody. And I feel like for people that tell you that they don't have to change, or that they shouldn't have to change, and that you should just love them for who they are, I agree with that statement 100%. Love somebody for who they are, regardless of whether or not they're compatible with you. But the person that wants to be compatible with you, the person that wants to be with you, that wants to be in it with the long haul, does have to accept some sort of change, whether it be minute or whether it be mountainous.
Something else that I read was that you want to choose someone who challenges you to be a better person.
Certainly, 100%.
And that means there will be some changes within yourself, but those are changes that you're going to want to make. So
right.
If this person pushes you to be a better person, then you need to stick with that person.
Right.
Because none of us are perfect, but if we can push to be better, I think we can do that.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to consider, like, aside from a few instances, like, you want your starting point to be your worst. You want everything to go up from there. Mm-hmm. That's not to say that there's not going to be some hiccups or some disagreements. Mm-hmm. But again, to be compatible, to be able to change, means not being stuck in your ways. Mm-hmm. So where you would normally argue to the death, you have to say, you know what, I can see your side, here's my side. Can we meet in the middle somewhere?
Yep.
Which all goes back to the idea of compromise. So I don't mean to be personal, but are you making compromises this Thanksgiving? We
are. Again, Charmaine has decided to. She wanted to cook. She cooks dinner for her and probably her two daughters. I'm thinking that the family's a little light here in Fort Wayne, if not many at all. I have my brother here. The rest of my family is spread out throughout the country now.
Sure.
And I spend time with, I mentioned Chris and Macy Gerardo, and even Chris and Andrew Donnell. They come over there, and a few other couples and guys. I mean, we have a pretty full house, and we just meal out and enjoy each other's time. I'm like, well, me being with Charmaine, I want her to come over and experience this, because like I said, this is my family, this is her family.
Right.
Let's bring the families together. But Charmaine has the idea with, she has the tradition of cooking for her family, and I respect that. She moved her Thanksgiving dinner for her family to Wednesday.
Right.
And I think we're going to be with the Gerardos and everyone else on Thursday.
Cool. So see the compromise.
Probably put on about 20 pounds in 2 days. So looking forward to, but not looking forward to it. It's a lot of food.
Right. So
So you already talked about you guys kind of.
I did.
Trying to figure that out.
Yeah, and it is what it is. I think ultimately what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up brewing beer and hanging out and probably enjoying each other's company for uh, uh, at least to the point that she decides that she's had enough of me and she wants to get out of the house for a little bit. Dude, speaking of which, I got to tell a story because I know that if I don't tell this, she's going to tell it and it's going to be a different version of what happened.
Which one is it?
What? Oh, the yeah, you know what's
she's
happening.
already told some other stories.
You know what's happening right now. So, this morning, I was getting ready for work. We both get up roughly around the same time, right? And I was getting ready for work, just got out of the shower. She's in one room and she's applying her makeup and getting herself ready for the day. I'm in the other room, in the bedroom, and I'm kind of getting dressed for work. And I'm thinking, like, man, there's a whole wall between us, right? So I'd kind of been sitting on one, like it was in bed, and then I was in the shower, and I was like, I'm kind of working this one up, and I didn't want to let it go in the shower because you ever farted in a hot shower.
Yeah, you cook it.
Yeah. Essentially, you cook in it, you bask in it in all your own glory, right?
Yeah.
So it was like, get out of the shower, and I'm like, I'm not gonna let it go while I'm toweling off because, well, she might hear it. So I go in the bedroom, I get dressed, right? And I let one go for about, I don't know, man, 6 to 8 seconds, right? And I hear her in the other room and she's like, okay. So I'm like, shit, she heard me, right? She comes over and she's like, you feeling okay? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, I just kind of farted. But I was standing in the door, like kind of in the doorway when I farted, like close to the door. So now if she's coming over and she's talking to me about me farting and giving me a little bit of shit about it, she's standing in the cloud. Right. So she's like, I'm like, so I just kind of farted right there. You might not want to stand there. And she's like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And now it's this huge thing where like, she's actually calling me Tootie Booty. Right. Which, I mean, I'm not okay with, but I have to be okay with because she's cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like, kind of prompted the discussion of, well, actually, it prompted the discussion at work because I actually told the story to someone else. And they were like, do you know really fart in front of your girlfriend? I'm like, no, not really.
See, but when, I'll let you finish the story, but you have to answer that. When do you start doing it?
Well, I didn't think she would hear it.
No, but when do you start doing it?
But
you can finish your story, or...
Well, no, the story's over. I farted. She heard it. She called me out on it. The thing was loud. It was like I was expecting like some kind of creep out. You know how you try to control things. And yeah. I was hoping for that. What I got was between 6 to 8 seconds of of an audible sound that I got called out on immediately. You know, so
I think me and Charmaine have talked about letting them rip. I don't think we've blatantly done it in front of one another to try to like make each other smell it. But again, that's the question. Like, when are you comfortable in front of your significant other to rip it and just be comfortable? Because I don't want to call it any of my other couples friends, but they're usually at those points.
I feel like okay, all right, real quick, because I feel like we got like about 2 minutes before we need to wrap this up, okay? So my thing is that we all know where farts come from.
Mm-hmm.
And they are dangerously close, and I've used this reference before, they're dangerously close to the playground. Right?
Okay.
So if you have, how many playgrounds have you been to that have a sewer right there at the end of the playground?
None that I know of.
Right. Because you don't want to go to the playground and be like, oh man, that kind of smells like rotten eggs. Yeah, man, everybody's dumping their. It's horrible, right? So I was a firm believer that, like, hey man, in order to have someone come play on your playground, maybe you should not shit your pants as an adult. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Not necessarily shit your pants, but when you let one rip,
Yeah,
and
right,
the
right.
poop particles, it's a whole nother thing. That's a whole nother story.
I have like comedy material for that. I can go on
about
for at
poop,
least.
about poop particles.
I got comedy material for days for that.
Right, and so maybe we'll have to tackle this entire issue another time. But the gist of it is like, hey man, like, I don't necessarily want to give someone the idea that my playground stank because I've been letting it roll on you all night. You know I had chili. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be a gentleman. And that's not to say that I've never witnessed a girl farting or my girl farting or whatever. She's a lady to the nth degree, right? She never did. I feel like if she feels like she's gonna fart, she goes and finds something to do, and then she's got some magic controlled kind of fart crystal that absorbs the fart and any kind of smell that was gonna go along with it, and she just whips this fool out, lets it rip, it absorbs everything, and she puts it back in her pocket and comes back wherever we're at, right?
Okay.
But me particularly this morning, I thought I was going to get away with it, and I got caught, which was the hilarious thing. So I only told that story so that when we put this on YouTube, I can say we're talking about a fart story as well.
Versus when I came over and got the story from her, so I got in the door.
Oh my gosh, yeah, she couldn't wait. She's like, "Hey Marlon, how you doing? So guess what he did this morning? My God, he thought he was gonna get away with it. Thing went on for like seconds." Like, I can only imagine, man. And I kind of half-ass heard it as well. Like, I heard you guys exchange pleasantries, and by the time I had made it downstairs 3 minutes later, they were discussing how I had farted this morning. So
and the new nickname.
Yeah, and the Tootie Booty nickname. I mean, I guess it's better than Fruity Booty.
Ooh. No, thank you.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. So, that's my fart story. This is our show. Unless you have anything to add.
No, I'm not going to share a fart story.
No, next time, right? Let's alternate fart stories.
I tell you what, I have total comedy.
Dude, but if we alternate fart stories and episodes, so like the next time you tell a fart story, the time after I'll tell a fart story, that's like our gimmick. We end every show with a fart story.
It might be tough after a while.
It might be tough after a while, but the gas never stops.
The gas does not stop.
I mean,
you
even
can
if
always
you're
start new gas.
Yeah, even if you're not farting on someone else, everybody has smoked themselves out of a shower at least once.
I have not.
What?
Not.
Dude, I farted so bad in the shower one time I had to get out. It was a hot shower.
I did that in the car.
Yeah. Okay, another show.
Just saying.
I was my buddy Jimmy, man, he farted so bad one time and he was driving that I was still hanging out the window gagging. I have never gagged on a fart except for this fool. And I was out the window like it was so disgusting.
I've done bad.
Oh man.
Thank you White Castles for that.
Right. Okay, so with that being said, we drank a little beer. We talked to you about some Black Friday stuff, about some beer stuff. Go if you see any articles about the beer buyouts, go and check that out, man. I found mine on Newsweek, but there's multiple articles on multiple sources. Check those out. It's really a very interesting read if you're into beer. As far as Black Friday, be safe out there. Please remember that if you're going to catch any fights, please turn your phone horizontal so that we can get the most accurate depiction of what went down in Target, Walmart, Meijer, wherever you're at. Be safe during the holiday season. As you know, Thanksgiving is known for being a high travel season. Anybody that's watching this, whether you're here, whether you're overseas, or whether you're not watching at all, or whether you share it with your mama's friends after Thanksgiving, we all want you to be safe. Please drink up, drink responsibly. For Three Crafty Bastards, of course, I'm B. Smith. And to my left,
Mr. Classic.
And Facebook, we love you. Share with your friends. Share with your mama's friends. Share with your mama's friends. Share with your mama's baby's daddy's friends. And for YouTube, we'll have videos up here shortly. We're hitting, I believe this is video number 30.
Wow.
Right. So we'll have those all up. I'll quit being a procrastinator and I'll get those all up. Three crafty bastards. We're out.
Be kind.